watching a rescue team in action, one of 27 such teams attached to the fire department of Los Angeles County. 5.5 million people in this area are dependent on their ability to act swiftly and efficiently in any emergency. This program is dedicated to rescue teams throughout the United States and to the men who risk their lives daily to save others. We will be back in a moment to bring you the story behind this exciting rescue.
Rescue 8 rolls on a response, we never know what we might find at the scene. A citizen's urgent call could mean that the lungs of a victim of heart disease must be restored to normal breathing action. Or maybe the life of a hunter hangs balanced on the steep side of a primitive canyon. Once in a while, we come on one like this. Having fun, mister?
I'm sorry I had to put you fellas to any trouble.
How'd you get in this spot?
Take a look.
Reaching for a quarter?
Yep. Dropped out of my pocket, so I figured I could reach in and get it.
And you reached too far, huh?
Far enough so as I can't get my hand out.
Okay, Skip, get the small saw. Is your hand hurting?
No, sir. But my knees are killing me.
Something bothering you, buddy?
Yeah. I was just thinking how this response cost the taxpayers $50.
How did you figure that?
I was reading the county bulletin this morning. They gave the latest figures on the cost of operation. The average of time, depreciation, personnel, equipment. They came up $50 per rescue response.
How about that? $50 for 25 cents.
Not very good odds, huh?
No, they're not. You know, it's a funny thing, the kind of trouble people get themselves into on account of money.
Yeah.
Dr. Birdwell's office, this is Miss Gale. Oh, hello, Mrs. Vanderhoff. Then you won't be here. Of course, dear. Doctor will understand. Goodbye. Bye. Dr. Birdwell?
Yes?
Mrs. Vanderhoff just called. She can't keep her appointment with you. Is it all right if I take my lunch hour now?
Of course, Miss Gale.
Oh, by the way, have those reports come in from the lab yet?
No, sir.
When they do, I must see them immediately.
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome to the Ritz. I've already ordered for Madame.
I'm in no mood for jokes today.
What's wrong?
You tell me what's right.
Okay, out with it.
Moneybags was in for a checkup today.
Which one?
You know which one. The one that was going to make our life together champagne, pheasant under glasses. Mine. Grilled cheese sandwiches and coffee.
Look, Sandy.
Don't look Sandy me. Every time I see that uncle of yours, it makes my blood boil. He treats you like a high school kid, and you act like you like it.
What can I do? If he finds out we're married...
Same tune, same words. Well, let me repeat myself. Harry Treadwell, quarterback for the Rams, I turned him down. Link Larson, star of the silver screen, I turned him down. And for what? Mark Stratton, poor but handsome heir. I thought I was getting a lion, but I got a mouse.
Just give me time.
And all the time I'm going to give you. I'm tired of working for a living, and I'm going to have some fun. With or without you.
You think it's worth risking everything?
Everything. I haven't got anything.
Okay, all right, you win. I'll talk to him, but please let me do it my way.
Here are the cardiogram reports. Better get them right into the doctor. One of them is very critical.
Thank you.
Of course, Mrs. Lasky.
I recognize the symptoms. Yes, the same as last year. Mm-hmm. Before meals and at bedtime. Of course, my dear. And I'll call you tomorrow. Come in.
The reports, Doctor.
Thank you. This is amazing. I've never been so far off in a diagnosis.
Which one, Doctor?
Mr. Stratton's. His prognosis definitely indicated a cardiac condition. According to this, well, his heart's as sound as a dollar.
Well, it could be a mistake.
No. No, the tape is completely normal. Miss Gale, bring in your notebook. I'd like to have you take a letter. Oh, and call Mr. Stratton. He'll be pleased to hear of this.
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah?
Your nephew wishes to see you.
Send him in. Hello, Mark.
Oh, hi. Just dropped in to see how you were. I understand you haven't been feeling too well.
Those blasted doctors trying to worry me, make me slow down.
Well, it might not be a bad idea.
Malarkey. I've never been sick a day in my life. So this pill roll is trying to change things.
Why don't you run up the lodge for the weekend? Relax.
It won't let me. It says I might have a bad heart. And bad hearts and altitude don't mix. Yes?
Dr. Birdwell's on the private line.
Yeah. Well, what do you want now? What? Well, great. I told you so, you old quack. Yeah. Yeah, we'll check it again in a couple of months. Yeah, okay. I ought to send him a bill for the medical advice he gave me. Almost worried me to death.
You mean you're all right?
Strong as a bull.
Good.
Ah. And to think, he almost had me giving these up. Say, I've got a great idea. Why don't you come up to the lodge with me? I'll give you a good lesson in mountain climbing.
Oh, I'd like to. Could I bring along a friend?
Sure, bring him along.
Not him, her.
Her, eh? Serious?
Could be.
There hasn't been a woman up at the lodge since your Aunt Martha passed away. Might be kind of nice for a change.
The eggs will be ready in a jiffy.
Fine host I am, inviting a guest, pretty one at that, and putting her to work.
I love it.
You're being kind to an old man. If I had known Cook was going to be sick, we could have done this another time.
You're not an old man. This is the best time. Girl can make her biggest impression on a man through his stomach.
I like her, Mark. I like her very much. Kind of girl can help a man. Well, what are you grinning about?
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. You see, Sandy's my wife.
Huh? Well, I'll be boiled in oil. You're a chip off the old block after all. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Shh, here she comes. That looks mighty good, Mrs. Stratton.
Thank you. Mrs. Stratton. No.
I just told him.
Welcome into the family.
Oh, thank you.
Now let's dig into this healthy-looking breakfast. Yeah. You know, my boy, this is good, real good. I'm glad you took the bit in your teeth about this marriage business.
So am I.
I suppose many men in my position might get a little soft, figure on making your role a little easier to hold. But not me. No, sir, not me.
But Mr. Stratton.
Uncle Charlie, honey. I know what you're going to say, Sandy, that you don't want my help. That's why I'm glad Mark picked you. I've had the feeling that you've been getting a little impatient, boy, expecting to be given things instead of working for them. Well, you stick by this little lady of yours, and when I'm ready to step aside, you'll be ready to take over. Your aunt used to say a lot of salt in the stew makes the apple pie taste sweeter. Right, honey?
Of course it does. Now, you men have talked enough business. Let's finish breakfast so you can show me those mountain trails I've been hearing so much about.
Pretty rugged country. You sure you're up to it?
Are you?
Now you're making noises like your boss. She's a great girl, Mark. Yes, sir, a great girl.
For you kids?
Let's keep moving.
Had a girl.
Something wrong?
No. Too much of your good cooking. A touch of indigestion. Let's go. Take a break here. I wouldn't want to wear you two out.
Yeah.
Uncle Charlie!
Must be his heart.
Still alive.
I'll go down after some help.
Mark, you can't. It's too dangerous.
I've got to. He'll die if I don't. He may anyway.
Well, what about me? If anything should happen to you on the way down, you said it yourself. He may die.
Look, Sandy.
Mark, we have our whole lives ahead of us.
I not only have to live with you, I've got to live with myself, too.
Normally, the foothills and areas above them are not in the district of Station 8. But the nearest rescue unit was busy on a response, and the dispatcher gave the call to Rescue 8.
Where is he, in the house?
He's up on that mountain.
Oh? Hop in, we'll drive as far as we can.
Attack victim high on a mountain. That presented three problems. Getting to him in time was the first. Resuscitation was the second. And third, and probably most difficult, we had to get him down. The victim's nephew told us that he'd call for a doctor after alerting the fire department. The steeper the way up became, the tougher the way back would be.
take it easy, buddy. Keep this rescue down to one victim.
Losing the stretcher wasn't going to make it any easier.
Give me the resuscitator, Skip. Watch your footing here.
I think you're too late. He hasn't moved.
Anything there? Very faint pulse, Skip.
I'd be glad to help any way I can. I work in a doctor's office.
Thanks, man. The best thing you can do is get back and give us a little room to work.
I'm getting a very funny hunch.
Yeah, you're not alone.
It was as though someone didn't want this rescue to be successful. We had to get the small E&J back up to us and hope there was no serious damage to it.
Give you a hand?
Yeah. Skip was going down for it, while I tried to keep the victim breathing with artificial respiration.
Take it easy now, buddy. I don't want to have to come down and get you.
I think it'll work all right, Wes.
Okay, hook it up.
Zone now, Skip.
Let's see if we can get him up here and get him down.
Without a stretcher, the victim had to be carried to the timberline. Once there, we could rig one, if we made it. The trail was tricky, with loose rocks tempting a spill that could carry us all to the bottom, the hard way.
All right, Skip, let's get these ropes off.
His shirt unbuttoned there.
Using ropes as a base and strong branches, Skip and I made an emergency stretcher. Now we could make up important time lost. The way down had been a hard one and could result in the victim having another attack. We couldn't afford this with a low oxygen supply and our reserve tanks below in the truck.
All set, Wes.
I don't need any more of that. I just had a little touch of indigestion.
You had a heart attack, Mr. Stratton. A bad one. A little booster won't hurt. Come on. That feel better now?
I guess so.
Lock it up, Skip.
Mark.
Excuse me.
Looks like you got the ball now, boy. I guess I wasn't as smart as I thought I was.
It was all my fault. My fault. I shouldn't have made you do all that climbing.
Don't blame yourself, honey. I've been a stubborn old man.
Can't deny the truth of that, Mr. Stratton.
Doctor?
Hi.
But you're not the only one to blame. Mark, when you called me, I rushed to my office to check my reports. And I found that you had made a very serious mistake, Miss Gale. You attached Mr. Stratton's cardiogram to the wrong reports.
My, I'm sorry.
Are you, Sandy? Are you sorry?
Of course.
Are you sorry you didn't want me to come down for help? You said you were worried about me.
Mark.
And when you kicked that resuscitator off the ledge, I'll bet you were sorry about that, too. Sorry that we got it back.
Mark,
That was no mistake, Doctor. That was deliberate. She wanted my uncle's money, and she didn't care what she had to do for it. Maybe even kill. You better get your things back. We're going back to town. And when we get there, we're going to see a lawyer about a divorce. And I advise you to think twice before fighting it.
It'll be all right, Charlie. I'm sorry, Mark.
Well, Uncle Charlie, better get someone else to take over for you. Afraid I'm not the man to handle the job.
Now, hold on, boy. You just did something most people find hard to do. You admitted a mistake. I don't think I could find a better man to take over our company.
Let's go.
You know, Wes, that $50 paid off this time.
$50?
Yeah, $50 it cost the taxpayers for this rescue response.
I guess you're right. Sometimes small investments can pay big dividends.
Yeah. Hey, that reminds me. Today's pay